I know, Bucharest is not on your bucket list, but hear me out. I did not expect this city to be this interesting. They have a building inspired by North Korea, and not only that, under the communism, they destroyed over 10,000 houses just to build Palace of Parliament, and they had to keep it because destroying it was more expensive than keeping it. So Bucharest honestly has blown our minds, and in this video we are going to show you why it should be on your bucket list.
If you want to travel in public transport in Bucharest, the easiest way will be debit card or credit card. You can just tap in on any of that machine on the buses or tram or the train. But with that, the bank will charge you a conversion fee. And the other way is to buy a transit card from any of those kiosks that you can find in metro or the bigger bus stations, I would say. Or you can buy a single ticket as well, or 10 tickets at the same time, and it will give you this kind of a ticket. You have to validate it when you're entering the metro or bus stand.
You know what I love about European countries? That wherever you go, either in park or in metro, someone is reading a book, and that just makes me so happy. I don't know why. Thanks.
If you don't like any of the options that I gave you, you can also buy a tourist transit card, which gonna cost you for 24 hours is gonna be 20 lei, and for 72 hours is gonna be 40 lei.
We are in front of the third largest administrative building in the world. When you see this building, you will feel that it's huge and it's honestly beautiful. But when you learn the history, you will start to think of the reason of its existence. So we did this free Bucharest tour, and we learned some facts about the city, which was pretty sad. So Romania was a communist country before, and the leader at the time, who was Nicolae Ceausescu, he went to North Korea, and surprise, surprise, he saw a building that used to represent the power of a communist leader. So this building was inspired by that building in North Korea, and the fate was unfortunately in his favor, because the moment he decided to build this building in the city center, a big earthquake happened. It was around 1977, and many of these buildings in the old city was destroyed, but not all. But he took the advantage of that natural disaster and decided to build this Palace of Parliament in the heart of the city by destroying more than 10,000 houses.
If you want to go inside that palace, you can book a ticket from their official website, which will gonna cost you about 60 lei. But you have to call them to book an appointment. So it's very traditional way, I know. But the other option is you can get a guided tour, and you can book it through Klook, Get Your Guide, or Viator as well.
And this boulevard leads to the parliament. Well, as I said before, people in Bucharest have love and hate relationship with the whole Palace of Parliament and this boulevard. But to this day, this boulevard is kind of bringing these people together, because every weekend they are putting a light show over here, and from the photos and videos that we have seen, it's pretty beautiful. So we learned in our free Bucharest tour that this building was actually in front of this big building that you see. They literally moved the building by few meters, because apparently when Nicolae ordered to destroy all the buildings, that included some churches as well. And he simply said, if you can't save the building, just move it. And this engineer took it literally, and he invented a way to move buildings literally.
There's St. Anthony's Church. It was built in an Ottoman era, which was in 16th century. And there is a belief that if you lose something and if you want to find it, then you come here and pray and ask whatever you have lost, and it will present to you. And you will find it in a way, I mean.
Sorry, I have to whisper because it's so quiet. These churches are not never seen before. This used to be like the famous, and I think at that time the only inn where people traveling from like different places would come here and stay. If you want to have a good experience, they have a cultural show at night. Where they have like the Romanian dance and music and all sort of things. The place is a bit expensive.
So we are,
not
even the
gonna
beer
do
is
that.
expensive. So we can't afford it.
But yeah, this could be a good experience, and obviously it's got a very historical and cultural value to it.
We are in this monastery, and it's been built by a Greek monk in 18th century. And the coolest part about this is right in the middle of the city center. I mean, middle of the old town. And the architect and the color of this, monastery is really good. You see this building in the back? It was post office before, and now they turn into a national museum. And look at the size of those pillars. And I guess Romanian people, they were big on making big buildings. I mean, oh my God, it's huge. And also, Romanian people, they were really influenced by the French. That's what we have been told. Because all the buildings that you see here, not all the buildings, but some of the buildings that you see here, they are influenced by the French architecture. Because some of the people from Romania went to France to study, and then they come back and then they built this. Not the bus, but the building behind the bus.
In the middle of the city center, there is this mysterious alleyway that comes out of nowhere, and it's full of restaurants and shisha place.
Being in the Bucharest for the last few days, we don't see that this is a peak tourist season. Like it should be filled with tourists in summer, Europe, But apparently it's not. Bucharest is not that famous, I guess, among tourists. Another French-influenced massive building. So this is a National Bank of Romania. And after the communism, when Romania became a democratic country, there was a massive inflation. So what they did, they just changed that currency. So before it was lei, it's still lei. In day-to-day use, they still say lei as their currency, but in official terms, it's called RON, R-O-N. This building in the back, it was built in 1933. And at that time, it was one of the tallest buildings in Romania. Actually, it was the tallest building in Romania. And this is a telecommunication building. And in World War II, Romania was with Germany. But when they switched side, Germany tried to destroy this building. But instead, they destroyed this building. And this building was a national theater before. And now it's Novotel Hotel, because they bought it from the government and they built the whole thing. But Novotel kept the part of that national theater in front. Can I have one? What? Spicy, please.
If you are looking for some budget-friendly options to eat, Luca could be a good option. They have got like their local eats as well as some really good cheap pizza and some pastry items as well. So I don't know what this is called, but it looks like pretzel. No, it doesn't even look like pretzel, but it's filled with jam. And we have got a chicken sandwich as well, and we got a slice of pizza. This is not from Luca. It was shop next door, and the pizza was looking really good, so we got one.
Some of you already know that we have a Patreon as well, where we put our exclusive content and behind the scene. Yeah. So if you are interested, please go check it out. You might have to subscribe to one of the tiers. That way you can help us
create more videos like this.
Yeah.
And if you are interested in one of our city guides, you can find that in the shop as well.
And I'm telling you that city guide will help you a lot, because whenever we go to a city, we do an extensive research about the city, where we're gonna stay, how we're gonna go around the city, public transportation, and everything you want to know, you will find that in that city guide, including the food as well.
This is a World War I memorial, and it may remind you of the Triumph des Arcs. This is very similar to what you see in France. We haven't seen the France one, and if you haven't seen the France one, then this is the next best thing you will see. Think that you are in the communism regime, right? And your communist leader has never seen any protest or revolution. They are getting away with whatever they are doing, and I think the public is not okay with how the country is going, but they don't know any better. And suddenly something happens, something revolutionary, right? And the whole country comes together and fight for their freedom. And that's exactly what happened over here. And that's why this place holds a very important part in Romanian and even in Bucharest people's lives. You see that balcony? That is where Nicolae Ceausescu was booed for the first time, and he didn't see that coming. People protested for several days, and in 1989 Romania got the freedom from communism and it became a democratic country.